Over the summer, I decided to finally get scuba certified. So I went on a marine science program with around 16 other teens. And this is the story of my first dive through a reef. Let's take the plunge, shall we? I had been preparing for a few weeks, learning everything from science to math to how to use the equipment, and had done 2 previous dives proving myself in shallower waters. But this was my final test and the time to prove myself in a real scuba setting. And as I finished donning my gear and going through all the checks on myself and my dive buddy, I could feel the churning in my stomach. But I took a deep breath and walked off the side of the boat and into the water. I gave the diver OK signal, and my buddy and I began our descent. When we got to our agreed upon depth, I looked up in awe at the glimmering light dancing through the surface 35 feet above our heads. A conflicting sensation of calm and alertness came over me. I started looking around my surroundings, full of overwhelming happiness, careful not to smile so as to make sure the water didn't leak through my mask. My buddy began pointing out something to me, and as I turned around nervous that I'd done something wrong, I found a tiny moray eel staring back at me from his home in a crevice. I stared at him for a few seconds, with marine biology knowledge going through my head. I knew not to get too close. Animals need their space, and I was the invader in his territory. We made our ascent and hoisted ourselves back on board with all of our gear. And as I wrote down my times and depth and calculating my residual nitrogen, I thought to myself, I understand why people love scuba diving so much. Thanks for listening.